On this Friday, a warehouse temporarily shutting down to make sure the air is safe after a report has showed it was releasing a lot of cancer-causing gas.
BD owns the warehouse in Covington. It told the state today it's going to stop some of the operations there for 2 weeks after some harsh words from the governor. 11 Live's Doug Richards is following this response prompted by demands from Georgia's Environmental Protection Division.
This is the plant in Covington that shut down earlier this fall because of leaks of cancer-causing ethylene oxide. Down the road from that BD plant, the company maintains a warehouse which stores and ships products sterilized with ethylene oxide. State regulators say this plant is also emitting the cancer-causing gas. BD told the state that air monitors recently recorded the warehouse emitted 0.65 pounds of ethylene oxide per hour. That's more than 15 pounds per day, or more than 5,600 pounds per year.
I don't really feel that myself or my neighbors are really being protected from what we're breathing, which is scary.
Kaylee Ingram lives less than a half-mile away. Her 5-year-old Aria has spent much of her life getting treatment for mysterious, life-threatening tumors. And you're convinced it's ethylene oxide?
Definitely.
Up the road from them, there's a school. In the other direction, there's a daycare center. The state told the company it will require BD to monitor the air at the fence line outside of the warehouse, as well as Ingram's subdivision and the nearest school, to determine airborne levels of ethylene oxide. BD issued a statement saying air monitoring data from inside and outside the facility confirm that BD's facility is safe for employees and the community, and that the company will keep working to reduce the emissions. Ingram thinks that's not enough.
I mean, if they were really concerned with it, I feel like they would have already shut down.
EPD went to court in October to get BD to agree to the air monitoring that led to the latest revelations here at its warehouse. The state is telling the company that fines of up to $25,000 per day could result if its ethylene oxide issues here aren't straightened out.
Plants in Covington, Cobb County, and in Madison all use this chemical. And as this all plays out here, there are reports companies using ethylene oxide are pushing the Trump administration to redraft the EPA's assessment that ETO is even a dangerous carcinogen. That infuriates people in those communities who are convinced ETO has caused their cancer. Trade groups representing chemical companies are lobbying the Trump administration to get rid of the EPA's peer-reviewed evaluation. According to the Chicago Tribune, the companies want industry-funded research rejected by 2 independent panels. The Tribune says it has documents to back this up, and the lobbying could be working. In November, the EPA backed away from a promise to draft new regulations to protect people living where ETO has been found in the air. Redrafting EPA's assessment could help companies avoid the government mandates that would force them to spend millions of dollars to keep the air safe. Court documents around Sterigenics plant in Cobb, for example, show that there were 20 households with cancer in this subdivision of just 100 houses. 20 of 100 in Old Vinings Mill. It's why neighborhood groups say they will not stop fighting to limit or stop the use of ethylene oxide.
A new proposal